Right. Like the Shroud of Turin is an excellent example.
Yeah,
that one's an interesting
wild.
one.
That's a weird one, man. There's a weird one. There's a lot of people that go out of their way to try to disprove it, but when you get into the dating of the cloth, so it used to be they were saying that it was only a few hundred years old, but now they're saying that the way the cloth is made, the cloth is made that's exactly consistent with the time that Jesus was alive, and that more tests need to be done to find out the exact age of it, because the problem is, like, you don't know like what piece they studied, and you're not studying the entire thing, and also the image of it is bizarre, because the image of it, you really only see Jesus when it's a negative of it. And they don't know how that image was put on there. It wasn't stained, it wasn't burned on there. They don't know what caused it.
It's like a blast of radiation.
Yes,
Right.
somebody recreated it with gamma radiation, I think. But the only problem, so it would just be, it would need to be an extreme source of light to do that. But the only problem is that would have vaporized, the heat from the light would have vaporized it realistically. So they're wondering, well, if light did do it, how was there no heat?
Right.
So if Christ did raise and pass through it, there's also X-ray images in the shroud apparently.
Well, you see this when you see the shroud in negative. Like, Jamie, pull up an image of it. It's very strange. Like, it shows the lash marks on his body.
Yeah.
It shows his facial features. It shows the holes where his wrist is, where he was crucified. It's very strange stuff.
So
Because, like, for someone to do that as a hoax and to just not paint it, just to do it in some very weird. Go to that. Yeah, that one right where your cursor is over that. Make that big.
Recently said it's fake.
They've recently
They
said
go
it's
back and forth
fake?
on
The
it.
thing
Yeah, it's
is,
been
like,
back and forth.
who is the person who's they, right?
Yeah.
The Catholic Church is who
What's that,
owns
Jamie?
it. Says they've been debunking it for 650 years.
Well, but 650 years ago, they didn't even have carbon dating. So what were they doing to debunk it back then?
Yeah.
There's a bunch of people that want to debunk it.
There's a
So what
document
does it
they
say?
found.
A document
Well, they were talking. I mean, I don't know.
where they talked about it being bullshit.
Yeah, I've
The
also
thing is,
seen
people,
videos-
I'm sure, called bullshit on it
I've
a long
seen videos
time
where
ago.
People have talked about ways that some of that stuff could have been done.
Sure, but how would someone figure out that 500, 1,000, 2,000 years ago, whatever it is?
It could have been 300, 200, 150,
Sure.
60 years ago.
Well, it's 650 years. If they've been debunking it for 650 years, you got to assume it's at least 650 years old.
Well,
So the thing is, like, see, it's been dated between 1355 and 1382. So
That's the text that was the document
the text, what text?
that we're talking about here, not the shroud.
What is the text about? Medieval documents revealed the authenticity of the shroud that many believe wrapped and crucified was being called into question perhaps as early as 1355. Okay, well, that means that it existed 1355.
yeah.
Depictions by clergymen. See, it's hard. Deceptions. Oh, excuse me. Deceptions by clergymen. His writings, now considered the oldest written rejection of the relic, predate the previous earliest documented criticism by the Bishop of Troyes, Pierre d'Arcis, in 1389. So either way, we know it's at least 600 plus years old, and we know that the way that it was put on there was not stained, it was not painted. It's very strange. And if you look at it like that, they didn't even know that until they came up with photography, until they could take an image of it and make it a negative. They didn't see the face of Jesus in all the depictions.
Mm-hmm.
It's like this image right here is like, you look at that, the Shroud of Turin, like, yeah, I could say call bullshit, whatever. But then you see the negative, like, go back to those other images. So this is what it looks like when you run it through, when you use modern photography and turn it into a negative. That's really weird.
Yeah.
That this wasn't, that they didn't know about this in the 1300s.
Yeah.
A new study says it's something else. So they're going to have studies forever that debunk it. And one thing that academics love to do, they love to call everybody retarded.
Yep.
Everybody's an idiot. This is all fake. This is bullshit. But whatever that is, man, when you're, just go back to the negative ones. The one that you just had. The one down. Right, yeah, that one, please. That's weird as fuck to me, man. That's weird as fuck that you couldn't see it normally, and you only see it when they make a negative of it. That is so strange that someone would go out of their way to fake something in that way,
Yeah.
where it only exists in a negative.
Well,
I'm
and
not
they don't
saying
even know
that-
how it happened.
Right, exactly. They don't know how to. I mean, they're saying they could reproduce it today, but I don't think anybody has. And also, how are you going to reproduce it to such an extent with so much detail that matches the biblical depiction of the crucifixion?
Yeah.
Including the holes in the wrist, the lash marks on his back, the wound in his side. It's all really weird. At the very least, it's fascinating. The very least, it's fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's really interesting stuff.
To me, that seeing that, I really don't even care how old people think it is, or like, figure out how they did that first. To me, it's like, if this is...
Not only that, how'd they do that 600 fucking years ago? Or 2,000 years ago, or whatever age it actually is.
I seen one article last year where they found dirt particles that matched, that they traced back to Jerusalem. So
yeah.
It's, like I say, they've been debunking it and saying it's authentic and debunking it. It seems like for the last 5 or 10 years now.
Oh, it's very weird stuff.
Just where are we at right now with it?
That one church in Ethiopia that's supposed to have the Ark of the Covenant there.
Yeah.
And all the people that guard it, they all get cataracts and they wind up dying of radiation.
I haven't heard that one.
You ever heard of that?
I don't know about that, because the Ark of the Covenant was when God the Father's presence was here on earth, not through Jesus. The Old Testament, the I Am was down here, and that's what he resided in. And you had to do all these things to be in his presence, or you would literally just die because, he's holy. And to me, it's like lightness and dark cannot exist in the same place. So whatever. But God the Father's presence isn't there anymore. So I don't understand why it would still be messing people up.
Well, we don't know what they were writing down, right?
Yeah.
The problem with all ancient religious texts, let's assuming there was real events.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is a lot of these things were told as an oral tradition for 100, 500, 1,000 years before they're ever even written down. And then they write them down. They write them down in Aramaic, they write them down in Hebrew, and then they have to translate it. And they translate it to Greek and Latin and then eventually English. You're missing a lot along the way. When I read these things, when I read the Bible, or if I read the Book of Enoch or any of these ancient texts, I'm always trying to say, okay, what were they trying to document?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what was the original event? Like, what actually happened? And the problem is people are really bad at telling the truth. Like, human beings, when they see something fantastic, they always add their own little flavor to it. People add their own little thing to it. If they are of a certain belief, they're going to attach that belief to whatever this thing was. So it's no question that these people held whatever that was in such high regard, and it meant so much to them that they, like the book of Isaiah, where it's verbatim, that they wrote it verbatim for 1,000 years. Back when they started out, they were writing things down on animal skins.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the things about the Dead Sea Scrolls that's so fascinating, is they had to do genetic testing. So they're writing these things down on these animal skins, and they had to make sure that the skin of this one is the same cow as the skin of this one. So if they do like genetic testing to make sure it's the same cow skin, so okay, we got all the skin from this cow, and it's in this group of text, so start decoding it.
That's an interesting way of doing it. That's wild.
It's wild.
I would have never thought of that.
And like Wes Huff said, how they used to write things, like they'd leave stuff out back then because it wasn't required back then. They would just write down the basics. I watched that Wes Huff thing, and that was very interesting.
He's fascinating.
He's brilliant, man.
Yeah.
I've watched a bunch of stuff on him.
Very
learned a
brilliant.
lot.
But it's also, again, what were they trying to document?
Yeah.
There's clearly something was going on back then. Something happened.
Did you ever read that story? It was somewhere in the Bible. I can't remember where. It's in the Old Testament. Somebody stole the ark. Well, some tribe stole the ark, and like the next day, the next morning, like everybody was dead from stealing the ark, and they pretty much said, "Hey, come get this thing, take it back." Yeah.
Yeah, we don't want it.
Yeah.
We're good.
Well, that's what people believe is in this church in Ethiopia.
Yeah.
Because there's these Ethiopian Jews who also, their Bible is the Book of Enoch.
Yeah.
Do we have an image of this?
No, you can't see it. Nobody can get. I say, send in the SEALs. We need to fucking
Yeah,
Yeah.
SEAL team
find out what
takes
the fuck is in there, bro. Put these guys in hazmat suits and Let's
If
get
the
to the
U.S.
bottom
knows
of
you
this.
got it, it's gonna be ours.
Well, yeah, you would imagine.
We're gonna take it.
I would
Or
like
they
to
might
see
not know at all.
Well, what would happen with remote viewers if remote viewing is real? Get remote
Oh,
viewers in a
man.
room and
We have talked about
You
that
just get
My
Blind.
topic.
brother is big on
Oh,
he
yeah.
went down a remote viewing rabbit hole. He was
Oh,
big
yeah.
on it.
I thought it was 100% horseshit about 10 years ago.
What about the
And then over
submarine?
time, oh yeah. No, the submarine's big. The one that they found the Soviet submarine that they were building.
Yeah.
They knew the exact location. Not just that, remote viewers found a downed aircraft that was in Siberia. They located it within a 3-mile radius. They found it. They knew where it was. And the United States went in and got it before the Soviet Union could.
Using remote viewers to do
Yeah,
that.
using remote viewers. Like they've got actionable information from remote viewers. Allegedly. Allegedly.
To me, it feels like it's just to scare the Soviets. Like, oh, we got people with superpowers. We know where the submarine is.
Or they're doing it too.
Or they're doing it too.
Or is this something that people realize that there's a developing aspect of human consciousness, or an aspect of human consciousness that used to exist that we forgot, that we
Yeah.
don't know how to do anymore? One of those things.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
an interesting concept, yeah.
It is, because the remote viewer thing, they spent a fuckload of money on that, and they kept that program going on for a long, long time. And, I don't know what they discovered and what they didn't. Unless you're in the room with the people that have the top secret information, who knows?
That whole Cold War time is also just wild. I see why we would have faked a lot of stuff
Sure.
on both sides.
Oh,
Just
for
a
sure.
big bluff game of
Uh-huh.
we can do this, we have this.
Yep.
Andy just started believing in in us getting to the moon.
Well, once
That
we
was
went
just,
to
like, recently.
once we went to NASA in Texas, but also that documentary, the other footage that came out. I don't really
Yeah,
know. I
but-
could see why we would fake it. I mean, it's Soviets.
Yeah, I
We
can
wanna
see
beat
where
'em?
we could fake it.
That's the U.S. government. We'd fake anything.
You ever,
For-
wa-